good. I'm gonna just
take a couple more shots.
Yeah,
my bad. I didn't know you started yet. I'm leaning back.
We could talk off camera about that.
What I do is I like to try to catch some B-roll. You know what I mean? Just to add some extra footage to put out for the content. You know what I mean?
I got
week and stuff. So.
Yeah, them is kids too, man.
Yeah.
Kids be watching. They gonna be like, yeah, it's crazy.
They gonna be like, it's the mafia. What?
Yeah.
They gonna be like,
cut that part out. Ain't nobody supposed to know that.
No.
I know that.
Right.
But yeah,
if you find out, it's on your own. It's on your own.
We're gonna talk off camera because a couple things I peep game.
Yeah, I could mute them dudes. Part of that. Matter of fact, I'm not even gonna put.
Yeah, you might have to just do everything. Start at like 4 minutes, like real shit.
Yo, what's up, man? Yo, do we have the horn ready? My bad.
We got the horn ready, but we
ain't got a speaker, but we gonna have to make it work, yo.
It's all good though.
We got another episode, y'all, of culture content coming
Back
to you, man.
One.
Let's get it, yo. We got another special guest here, man. My man Donel, Durham. You feel me? Welcome. Energy is great. We here. We talking business. We here talking about let's just car rental stuff. You know what I mean? Getting into the business. How to make more money, man. That's it. What we want to do, just live life.
You want to maximize the skills that you have and use it to help you progress in life.
Multiple streams of income. You know what I mean?
Rental cars. It could be through real estate.
Life insurance. Like we here. We want to expose y'all to everything. So, without further ado, my guy Donel, thank you. Thank you for pulling up, coming through. Yes, you know what I mean? Coming to check us. He's from Pittsburgh, though, right?
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Yeah, born and raised in Pittsburgh. Came through to show love. I don't want to, we met at a mutual friends event, and from the rip. He came early. He was one of the first people there. You know what I mean? Chilling.
Hold on. If he came early, that means he had something else to do. Because they said you come early.
They leave it early.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he had something else to do. But nevertheless.
Well, we ain't going to give him the benefit of the doubt. He was just on time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. When it was supposed to start.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he showed up on time, real time. Show love from the jump. Like, yo, help me take this picture. And then we just began vibing and building since then. So found out he has the car rental business, and of course that intrigued my mind as it should intrigue yours. So so without further ado, I'm gonna stop talking for you.
No,
wanted to give you the proper introduction, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, tell us about yourself, what you do, about the business. Let's go.
Oh no, so I went to school, man. I went to Walsh University. I played ball up there, got my degree, came out, started working with the CIS program.
What program?
CIS program. I did the CIS program for a while, man. Working with juveniles, trying to help them get their lives back on track. But I always wanted to do more, man. My biggest thing when I was working there, I used to always talk to the kids about financial literacy. I used to try to educate them about like a different path. But sometimes they don't hear you, you know what I mean? You got to like show them.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing, like following a lot of my heroes, man, like Dr. Claude, Malcolm, all them dudes, they want you to really like show, you know what I mean? You got to show them, and you got to show them the way in economics and show them how to empower themselves versus like telling them always what to do. Because one of the kids used to be like, hey man, you telling me all of this good, it sound good, but you work here.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then the biggest thing is like, I know I work here, like I'm trying to guide you, I'm trying to show you, but it's just like,
but they want more results. They want to see it right then.
Exactly.
Microwave generation.
Yeah, they want to see it, but that hit home with me, and I used to tell the supervisor all the time, like, look man, I could do more. Like I know I got it in me, like, and I'm motivated, and I could do more, and I could show them. So the first thing I did when I left is I started a restaurant with a couple of my friends. Man, we invested. It was called Culture. We was on 7th and Penn.
Okay.
So it was a lot of investors, man, in that business, but it was the biggest thing for us was like, look, man, we want to create a vibe, we want to create energy. To where we bring in like that black experience in a restaurant down here. I hired a lot of the kids from the CIS program.
Nice.
So I hired some kids.
Giving back to the community.
Exactly.
Sure.
Yep. And it was a program. It was a state funded program. I can't remember the name of it, but they would actually pay half the salary. I got with them, and they paid half the salary for the kids that came to work for me.
Well, no, I'm not sure about that.
I can't remember the name of them, but they was literally like right around the corner. It was downtown.
Okay.
And I used to go down there, and I made a relationship with an old girl. And she was like, "Yeah, man, just give me all your information, And then whenever I had cut my checks, they had cut me the check for the remainder, and I put it in the thing. But I had kids doing like dishwashing, bussing, tables and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
Yeah, it was dope.
Money, man. That's it.
So like that was my way of like, all right, like I told you, but now I'm gonna show you. You know what I mean? And it's like you can do the same thing I'm doing. All you gotta do is like kind of put your money where its mouth is. You gotta invest some money to make money.
Right. You gotta put that time in to make sure you know making it happen, because they like, oh yeah. They think it's just gonna be a quick result.
That's
you know
what
I
think.
mean? Like it's gonna be overnight. Nah, it's not overnight.
And that's what they used to.
How many times we say
that's
that?
That's what they used to. That's what they see in the street. So they think, you know, you get this right here, it's gonna come back tenfold in, you know, 2 days.
Right away.
It don't really work like that.
Yeah, it's investment.
You gotta put that work in it.
Well, and not only that, first thing is like an education. Like you gotta educate yourself on the market. Like before I got in this business, I worked. So once I sold the restaurant, I went into car sales. So with car sales, a lot of people look at sales like, you know, oh man, I don't want to be selling, but everything in life is sales. You know what I mean?
You sell yourself.
You gotta
when
sell
you go
yourself.
on a
Yeah, you gotta
job
sell
interview, you sell yourself, right?
What's that
For the
called
salary.
again?
Brandon, yeah. Brandon marketing.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
go
your
watch, go
brand
back and
marketing.
watch that.
Right. Go back and watch that.
You sell yourself every day, no
Every
matter
day.
how you think about it. The way people judge you, the way you carry yourself.
Yeah.
That's all selling yourself. You know what I mean?
100%.
Like I'm worth X amount of dollars. I mean, you put your amount what you're worth, but yeah, every minute of the day.
Yes, sir.
You're selling yourself.
And
Go
the
ahead.
biggest thing, like for me, like I was always good in sales. Like one of the first things I did in college, I sold stuff out of a little box. Man, it was crazy. I worked for this little marketing company. So nobody would hire me because they was like, oh man, you either like I couldn't get a job at Subway when I graduated from college. They was like, you got
That's
too
crazy.
much experience. Yeah, it was crazy. I was 21 when I graduated, and a lot of places wouldn't hire me. I had to come back to Pittsburgh to start working because
Wow.
in Iowa I couldn't make.
What they say was you didn't have the work experience.
I didn't
but
have
you
the
had-
No, he was over experienced,
I
overqualified.
Overqualified.
I had that
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
When I graduated.
And I had no experience.
Right.
Yeah. Oh my.
So it's like I don't understand. Like, why
Catch
can't
22.
you know, why can't I get the experience from you? You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying? Pull a couple dollars in my pocket and then possibly move up.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
this is
No.
yeah, that's
I want you to do
no.
good, but not better than them, because you
exactly. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was like, man,
know
if
he
you
might
start
be able
doing
to
good,
take my spot.
Exactly. Where I'm gonna work at now. That's exactly how they be.
Right, now,
It's
now
a
I gotta
fucking
go
mentality. It's
put
horrible.
myself back on the market.
I got to go on
100%
the
right. You're 100% right. So what I did was I did that for a minute, but I was always good in sales, man. Like I could sell, I could market, I could do anything. Like you know what I mean. So car sales, it was for me. Once I did it, I was like, I got kids, man. I got to provide for my family, so it's gonna be either car sales because I can make the most money in car sales or real estate. So I took a real estate class. I was gonna be a real estate agent. The only reason why I didn't go into real estate, I talked to the dude that was teaching the class. Passed the class and everything like that. I was, I'm pretty sure I was gonna pass the test really easily. But I asked him at the end. I was like, because I was gonna finish it no matter what. I said, hey man, how you make the most money in real estate? Like, what you do? He's like, you gotta buy real estate and sell it. He was like, that's how you make
flip
bread.
houses, yeah.
So that stuck with me. That resonated because when I went in my interview with Northwood Realty, I was gonna be working for them, and they ran down the process. They was like, oh well, this is the payment, this is how everything goes, and this is what you need. You need like 6 to 8 months worth of income saved up because you're gonna have to do a lot of training and everything like that. And we charge you this way, and you gotta join this organization. You gotta pay for office space, and I'm like, wow, I'm gonna be paying more money on the front end than I'm actually be making.
Right.
So I was like, nah, I don't want to do that.
That's
Not right
mathematically
away.
doesn't make any sense.
For me, like where I'm in my position, like I had money saved up, but it was like I don't want to like blow it all on that. You know what I mean, right away.
And it's a
I'm not really
possibility
making
money
it.
ain't gonna make it back either.
Exactly. There ain't no guarantee. So I'm like, I rather sell cars. You know what I mean? So I went in the car, boom, start making money right away. Start building up my clientele. But I was like more interested in learning the game though, because I didn't want to just be selling cars. I wanted to learn like, okay, how you buy them, like how do you evaluate a car? You know what I mean? What's the process? What are the managers doing? What are the finance managers doing? I want to learn about the money, all of that. So I was like literally invested. I was all in 100%.
Right.
So I learned the business like from a management perspective. So when I be on the floor talking to people, I'm educating them. I'm educating them like, okay, this is how you do this. This is how you do this. So they have more respect for me because they like, nobody ever talked to me like that.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
When I come in, they just trying to sell.
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
because you showing me how to dollar. You trying to help them.
Exactly.
You
I'm trying to
showing
help
them how to make money.
but
right.
exactly. So, but that's what people got to take into consideration when they do anything sales wise. And I think like coming out of high school, whatever. Like a lot of people try to divert people from sales, but it's like no, you should take some type of sales class because it's gonna help you in any area. Like no matter what you do, whether you want to be an accountant, a rocket scientist, whatever. If you know how to deal with people and you know how to sell yourself, or you know how to sell a product, you're gonna make your future is so much brighter.
Yeah, I think that's what an entrepreneur is.
Yeah, you're a glorified salesperson.
Exactly.
Yeah. If you own a business, you sell it.
Right. Yeah.
If you ain't selling,
you're not making no money.
You ain't making no bread. So yeah, I mean, I did real well there, but I learned the business. That's what helped me start the car rental company. You know what I mean?
Okay. So, what are some of the important steps that you had to take to get to that point? You know, because like we mentioned, people thinking that it just takes overnight.
Mm-hmm.
If you could just name like 1 or 2 steps that like make sure you do X, Y, and Z, whether I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
So, just let's.
I would say the first thing, like the biggest thing, no matter what business you get into, whether it's car rental or whatever, the biggest thing is education. You know what I mean? Try to get as much free education as you possibly can, or paid education. So my paid education was the dealership.
Right.
Like I got paid big crazy money to learn the business inside and out. You know what I mean? On the front end. You know what I mean? So when I actually wanted to learn about the car rental business, all I had to do was learn about like the systems and the processes. You know what I mean? To put in place. So I really did that online. I went online and learned
YouTube.
Well, no.
YouTube?
Well, it was a variety of
It
different
doesn't. It doesn't matter where you get your information and knowledge
It was
from.
a variety of different. Like I was on YouTube. I was on like reading books. I was doing everything. But I just literally learned the process, and I copied a lot of stuff too. So I was looking at different car rental companies. Like, all right, what their contracts look like? What their contracts look like?
So you kind of took piece from everybody and bring it home for how it works for you.
Right, because you don't want to reinvent the wheel. You just want to improve it or make something that fits what you're trying to do. Basically.
As long as it made sense. The first thing, you know what I mean, with a car rental company, for me, the paperwork, you got to have a privacy notice because you're taking people's personal information, and if you don't get a privacy notice, you legally might be liable if something,
something gets lost or something.
Exactly. If somebody finds somebody's personal information and they like, all right, privacy notice, I can't share or sell your information on third parties because we had to do that at Cochrane. Like, we take your personal information, we got to give you this privacy notice. You know what I mean? So I get driver's license and all that stuff. I got all copies of all of that on file. But all my stuff is digital. You know what I mean? I keep it in a zip drive. So if something happens, like with insurance or whatever, like, okay, here's this person's license, here's all of this information. That's the only person I can share that information with. But all that's spelled on my privacy notice. So you got that. You got a rental agreement. If you rent a car, you gotta have a rental agreement because if you get pulled over by the police or whatever the case may be.
You gotta show that I had this car. I own this car for a week or whatever.
Because when they look it up, it's gonna come up level 3 community solutions, or and when that comes up, and the cop pull them over, and they're gonna be like, "Hey man, this ain't your car."
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? Where's your agreement? Like, where's your insurance? Like, where's all of that? So, boom, they show them the agreement. They show them the insurance. Like the insurance I got. So there's multiple different ways you can do insurance. I'm giving y'all a gem right here.
Yeah. Yo, take note, y'all.
Yeah, so with the car insurance game, it's different. You can't just go with Progressive because nobody's going to insure you for a car rental. Okay. You got to have a car rental company, like a car rental insurance company to insure you. So what I do is I just use a third party. I use a third party online vendor. Now with the third party, what they do, they don't. They try to educate people not to buy insurance from car rental companies. They like buy it from us. Right. We'll give you, like, we not going to bust you over the head with crazy rates and prices. Yeah. Because most car rental companies, they charge, like, they're going to make money off that insurance.
Of course.
Like, with me, I ain't making money.
Right.
You just pay them. I'm trying to cover my car. I'm making money off you renting the car, and then the insurance company make money off the insurance. Right. I ain't trying to make no extra.
And then you cover but you cover insurance, like you said, for the cars.
Yeah, I have to, in the state of PA, I have to have insurance.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right. And then does the client that rents it, they have to have their own insurance?
Yeah.
And then you sell them.
So at first what I started doing is I would be like, hey, get the insurance. Here's the app. Go to the app and get your own insurance. Okay. But then some people wouldn't get the insurance. So I was out there like liable. You know what I mean? So what I did was like, all right, I put all the information in the app. And I paid for it with my card.
Okay. And that's what your contract states and everything, probably.
Exactly.
Your policy states that.
I pay for all of the insurance with my card, but then the policy.
Okay.
I'll email it. I'll fax it to you. You got the policy, so you get pulled over. All you got to do, and I take a screenshot and I send it to them. So you can show them, boom, on your screenshot. You show the police officer you got insurance.
You got your rental agreement, insurance.
Yep. You got your claim number. You got your policy number. Everything. You're good.
Oh,
you know what I mean? You can do it for a week. You can do it for a month. And the longest I rent cars is a month. So if you want to go over a month, you have to come in.
No, for sure. So off camera, we spoke about, I think on camera as well, we spoke about some of your experiences prior to you being an entrepreneur. worked at the SIS program.
Yes, sir.
Yes, my current job right now.
Community Intensive Supervision Program.
Community Intensive Supervision Program. It is intensive, right? Community Intensive Supervision Program. Juvenile probation, working with at-risk youth. Tell me something that you learned. What is something that you took from that job that helped you to propel to where you at today?
Mostly working at the SIS program, man. It's patience. You know what I mean? It's a lot of patience, and it's a lot. You got to learn how to be malleable and flexible with not only adults, but with kids as well. Like before working at the SIS program, my whole ideology with kids is that they it was all systemic. You know what I mean? They were just suffering from the results of their parents not knowing certain things. Mm-hmm. But a lot of times, man, the kids, the influences, it's multiple influences. It's stuff out in the streets like this. Really, there's not enough parents being the parents. What I learned for the most part was the parents that are parents of kids that are doing what they're supposed to do aren't involved in other kids' lives. Like the visibility aspect for me. So it was like, for me, I was like, what can I do about that? I'm like, all right, so what I can do is I can be more visible to these kids outside of the SIS program because they respect the things that you say more outside of the walls.
If they actually see you doing it.
Then inside. Yeah. So what I was like, me and my wife, we talked, and I'm like, what we need to do is walk around the community more. You know what I mean? When we get off work, because most times you get off work, you go to the crib, you with your kids, and you
just want to kind of be on your own part. Yeah.
So that was like one of the biggest like philosophies me and her was talking about. Like we need to be out here because only like the people that's out here, that the kids, like the adults that's out here, is the drug dealers, the hustlers. You know what I mean? Yeah. Some of the people that ain't doing what they really supposed to do. Like, but people. Yeah, but like the doctors and the lawyers and the people that like own businesses, they not out here walking the streets. Like the kids can't see them and ask them questions and like kind of pick their brain. Like, oh yeah, I see you driving a nice car. You got your family. Like you doing well. Like how you do that?
Yeah.
What's the process?
Right.
Because their parents might not be privy to that. You know what I mean? So it's just like being out here, be like, oh yeah, probably first like it's like little drops. You give them little nuggets. Like, hey man, how you doing? You start speaking and everything. Be like, hey man, want y'all, come over here. We bust it up. We have a little 10-minute conversation or whatever, a little 5-minute conversation. But we started doing that when I was living in Hazelwood. We was walking up and down the street or whatever, and we talk to kids. We say what's up, and that like kind of sparked something in me. I'm like, yeah, even the kid. I still got relationships with a lot of the kids that I was working with in the program. Like one of the kids, he's a manager at a little senior care facility.
Okay.
Me and him always busted up. But it's those long-lasting relationships that I tried to convince my supervisor. It's like, look, man, we always hear the negative stuff that happen with like kids get killed or kids go to jail. Like we need to start talking about the positive stories, like the kids that go to college and the kids that start businesses or like, and blow that up. Like do a little newsletter or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sometimes I feel like we don't. There's so much negatives going around. We can't really highlight on the positive.
Can't highlight the
And I think I'm agree with you on as far as like you doing stuff outside of the program to help, because my second job I work at at a school, and a lot of the kids I may see at the school may run into my program as well, or I may know their friends or X, Y, and Z. I'm in that field, so they see like, oh, he cool over here, so he gonna be cool over here. But I think one of the main things, is rapport. Yeah, you gotta be real with them, right? Having that rapport with them and just telling them, yo, I understand you messed up, but this is not the end all be all. Yeah. You understand? Yeah. You have to make sure that, like you did mess up. Don't get it twisted. But at the same time, like you got to make sure you're doing the right thing now, so you can be, successful in the future. Yeah. And a lot of times, like you said, like if they not seeing what you're doing, like they said to you, like you talking all this financial stuff, but you working at the SIS. Yeah. Exactly. And it kind of make you like, man, he might be right. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it kind of make you want to, all right, well, what I got to do to make sure, I'm doing what I need to do so I can help these kids in the future.
But not to the SIS. Like the SIS is a good. Like,
not for sure.
We're able to engage with kids that may not otherwise have the availability to engage with people that are.
And I like the resources. A lot of resources that they had too. Yeah. Right. You know what I mean. Definitely have a lot of resources for the kids, but sometimes kids is like, man, this is. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And because they're not really, like you said, they're not really accustomed to seeing these type of things happen. They only know what they see in the street.
But you gotta look at the psychology of it. Like this is what I learned. This is why this is what ultimately made me decide to leave. It's a punitive thing. You know what I mean? They're in there for a punishment. Right. And it's hard to teach somebody anything when they're on punishment.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when they get back out on the streets and they're free, and then they choose to do something. If you choose to do something or you put money into it, let's say I spend $10 to go to a conference or something like that. I'm really going to like focus, and I'm like, I got to get everything. I got to get my $10 worth.
Right,
I'm going to learn what I like, you know what I mean? You invested something into it. Right. But when they're there, they're not investing anything into it. They everything they do, like, I got to do this.
I got to do it. If I don't do it, I'm going to get sanctioned. I'm going to get
exactly.
X, Y, and Z. So you're doing it just because, so you don't have no repercussions.
Exactly.
You're not doing it to like really
they have
build
no
yourself.
investment. They have no investment in it. But if you say, the same information, that's what I learned. The same information that you give them there, if you give it to them outside,
they'll receive it more.
It's a way different type of eye contact, a way different type of conversation. Yeah. Everything is different. Yeah, everything changes.
They probably just see you as supervisors too, where it's
exactly.
just like, y'all can't relate or connect to us, and that's where we trying to draw the bridge, for real, like, like between us and them, because it's not like we're that much older than them, you know what I mean? Like, we literally just came from where y'all came from.
Right.
We just found a way out into where our negative energies now being put into positive things, like car rentals. And, you know, you got a car rental business, and so you were able to change your life and, do what you got to do.
I used to always tell them, like, when I would talk to them, I'd be like, look, I was like, you ever think, like, if you can go back in time and do things differently, how would you do it? I was like, I'm giving you that experience. Like, I'm an older, I already lived everything that you're going to go through.
Right, yeah.
And I'm here. I'm literally going back in time. Like, I'm giving you that whole scenario. And I'm saying, if I can go back in time, I would do X, Y, Z different. I'm giving you all the knowledge. Like, I'm giving it to you right now. So receive it.
Free.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
And it's free, right.
It's free. You ain't paying no consultation.
It ain't killing
you.
No
class, just receive it, man. Just receive it. I'm giving you the blueprint.
But I think even though, like, I used to, I got the opportunity to
definitely was able to speak
about what, what my career was and what I did. And then I went in there and my whole mindset was like, yo, even if it's 15 people in here, if I can get like one or two, you know what I mean, I'm good, because there's no way to catch all of them. Like you said, they're there for punishment. They don't want to hear it.
But that was my thing, and I was like, that was irking me, because we used to always use that. The same thing that you just said. That was one of the things that the supervisor used to always, you just got to get one. But I'm like, statistically, that's terrible. You know what I mean?
That's very terrible.
I was like, you looking at 100%. You want 1% or 2? Right. Like, that's not going to pass.
They tell us we only going to reach 1 out of every 25. I'm like, we got to do better.
I want 90% retention. Right. You know what I mean? I want 9. Like, that's like
I want an business. I don't want to feel in grade.
Or if you want a percentage of a business, like, if you can get 1% or 10%, like, that'd be I don't want that. I'm investing my money. I don't want that. I want way more. You know what I mean? So it's just like, but you can do that. Like, you could literally. Like when I was talking about, like, when we was doing the walks in the community and we just walking up and down the street and we talking to the kids or whatever, and they see us when we visible, or we drive by, we get out the car, we hop out, you know what I mean, have those conversations. It's like, now they see you, now you visible, you can have the impact you want to have. You can reach 80 to 90% just by saying what's up. Like, you literally, you could say, like, this little conversation that we just had, a snippet of it, a soundbite of it, you can have that with like a youngin', and you don't know how that message might resonate with them for the rest of their life.
That's right. For the rest of their life.
For the rest of their life. They might always draw back to that one piece. Like, I remember old head was saying, like,
old head was telling me what do you
we ain't that old.
Old heads to them. Like, you know what I mean? Because I can remember when I was a buck, like when I was like 7 or 8, even though like my parents was, doing pretty good, I still be on the block. I still be listening to the Hustlers or whatever. Sometimes I still be there. And some of that stuff still resonated. You know what I mean? And I ain't no street dude, but it's just like still, I know, like, from hanging around a lot of, I know the code.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And you know what the ending result is going to be 9
exactly.
times out of 10 or 10
You educate yourself.
Yeah.
And you educate yourself by being around Hustlers.
Right.
And it's like, all right, so I'm educated, but I don't want to go that route because I already got the education. Like, no, and it's the same thing with business. Before you jump in, you got to go ahead and educate yourself on what that process is going to look like.
And that business is a hustle. You know what I mean? It's just how you apply it. So
just legal.
Exactly, it's just legal. Come on, y'all, let's go. So real quick in the car rental business. So do you rent cars on Turo? Because there's a lot of talks about Toro being a new hype right now. I've only heard about the hype. I've never stepped foot in it yet because that's not really my lane. Although I want it to be eventually.
Right.
So what's the real deal, Toro? Let people know if it's like, is it good? What's the pros, the cons? You know what I mean?
Well, I can only speak from my experience. You know what I mean with Toro.
Okay.
And I know a lot of people that do well on Toro, but I don't know a lot of them people. You know what I mean? It's just Toro. It's a good platform. It's a car rental platform. You put your car on there. They do all the marketing and everything, and you pass off the keys. They do all the legality stuff. You ain't got to worry about it. But for me, I just came to find out it didn't work out for me because they have too much. They change things a lot. You know what I mean? Just like Uber and Lyft, you know how people been on there when they first started, they was making X amount, then that joint went like
the
this.
windows a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah. So they control too much of your business, and you go into business to control.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? To be an owner and can have control, and you don't have that with Toro. So that's why I don't mess with them. But I guess you can make money with Toro, but that wasn't my experience.
That's just not your wave. So
Yeah, but I did start with Toro. So when I first bought my first few cars, I started with 3 cars in 2019, and I had them on Toro, and I just didn't like the whole experience. I was still working at Cochran when I was renting literally from the dealership. So people
Okay.
Yeah, we had a little bit of conflict there, but I'm like, hey, I'm number one salesman.
Right,
like,
yeah.
come on, man. Like, I'm
making it happen. I'm bringing in money.
I sold 3 cars.
That's right,
I sold 3
exactly.
cars today, and I'm renting one. So just like, be cool. You know what I mean?
Just let me rock.
Yeah,
we all gonna make money.
Let me do my thing. And they was cool with it. Like, I am the management. Like, I ain't had no problems or whatever. But then I just started getting like, as more successful I became, I just started feeling more discontent for just working. You know what I mean? But I had a plan. Like, when I first went in there, and I think everybody should have a plan with a job. It's just like, you need and it's just with business. You gotta have an exit strategy in a business. You know what I mean? You start your business, your exit strategy, you should be selling your business. You know what I mean? You want to sell it for X amount. So that was my whole thing. It's just like, all right, I started this job, but my exit strategy is, after a certain amount of time, when I make a certain amount of money, after I save it up, to go back into business for myself again. Because that wasn't the end all be all. Like, I don't want to sell cars for the rest of my life. Like, that wasn't the plan. So once I started getting the business moving, I was like, all right, it's time for me to roll. You know what I mean?
So what sounds like Toro was not a good direction that you wanted
for
to
you,
go.
yeah,
For you.
Yeah.
What some of the
But it could be a
challenges?
stepping stone. It could be a stepping stone for somebody else.
Okay. So just can you tell us one of the major challenges you had, whether it was with Toro or with the car rental business?
Yeah.
And just
With Toro or the car rental business? Which one?
either or, if they commingle,
Okay.
you know what I mean? Then so
Alright, I
be
got
it, you know. But
Yeah.
just one,
Yeah.
because there is a profit side to it where
Yeah.
you do make money.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't get into that too much, but just give them, maybe give them some good about how much they can make roughly, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, and then give them like a downside to what the car rental businesses, whether it's with Toro or.
Well, I would say this: it don't matter what kind of car you get. You just want to buy your car right, so you be in the best financial situation possible. And I do consulting, by the way. So if you wanted to buy a car from a dealership or whatever, you call me, and I'll help you out. The first consultation is free. After that, maybe we could discuss the investment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Gotta make it, man.
I'll definitely help you save thousands of dollars on buying a car right, whether you're buying it for a rental company or you buying it for yourself. But that's step number one. You know what I mean? And that could be a huge challenge because if you buy your car wrong, you spend too much money for your car. It's just gonna eat away at your profits.
Exactly,
You know what I mean? Because you eventually
Paying all that interest and
gonna have to sell that car. If something happens to it, there's a big chance in the car rental company something's gonna happen to your car. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got other people using it. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, you got 500 people driving your car in a year. You know what I mean? Chances are one of them people gonna wreck your car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you don't buy it right and it's total, then you're not gonna come out. Like, every car that I had total in my business, I made profit on.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But if you don't buy it right, you're not gonna. That's
Because
not
you had
gonna
car
happen.
insurance.
Yeah, I
Or you
had.
had some type of.
Well, I had
protective
my
means.
car is insured, but luckily, everybody that's in what's been happening is other people been hitting the car. So their insurance is
They've been
covering
able to
total.
take care of it.
Yeah,
Okay.
they've been able to take care of it that way. But you know what I mean, even if it was the other way around, it would still be handled. You know what I mean? But that's really one of the biggest challenges is for me is buying, or I think for other people, you know what I mean, would be buying the car right. Because really, like, if you do this business right, you won't lose money in no aspect. You know what I mean? If you take your deposit, if you take a credit card, with my business, I started off not taking credit cards because that was my niche. You know what I mean? I'm working with people that really don't have established credit. I got to do some financial literacy. So it's just like, if you got a credit card, great. If you don't got a credit card, we just need a deposit. You know what I mean? So anything that happens, I just take it straight out of the deposit.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but that could be a huge challenge right there. You know what I mean?
So
the great side of it, let me finish answering your question. So
oh, okay,
the positive side
I'm
of
gonna
it.
ask it again.
No, you good. But the positive side is the income. Like the income potential is crazy. You know what I mean? Just hypothetically, if your car notes $500 a month, you know what I mean? I'm just kind of going on the average. Most persons like $500-$600 a month on their car note. You know what I mean? Let's say your insurance is $200 a month. That's kind of high, but you know, younger people out there. So let's say you're spending $700 a month on just your vehicle. Right. Let's just put some maintenance in there. Let's just say you spend. Let's just throw another $100 in there. Let's take it to $800 just for maintenance and stuff like that. All right, and that's throughout the year. So $800 is what you would spend on your car and just keeping it and maintaining it. On that same car, you would probably make anywhere between $1,500 to $2,000 a month. You know, renting it out.
Yeah, that's
you know what I mean. I'm just giving you like a rough estimate on the low end.
But you'll definitely be able to double your money.
Definitely.
It looked like you 2.5, maybe 3.
Yeah. I was being generous.
Definitely being generous.
And I'm going real high on the expense. You know what I mean? Because you could literally go
stuff
buy.
Happens,
But you could buy a car. I mean, you could literally go out here if you got $8,000, or let's say you got $4,000. No, let's go. My average person might have $2,000 on hand at any given time, right? So you got $2,000. You go finance. You got decent credit. Maybe you got a 670. You know what I mean? You put $2,000 down on an $8,000 car. You're gonna have a note right around $200-$300, right? You know, you just finance that thing for 36 months because you don't want to really do too much longer than that. But free bar, free gem. If you ever finance a car, go to your bank and get the loan from your bank or your credit union first, and then walk in the dealership with a check in hand because dealerships make a little bit of money off interest as well. So that's a little.
You heard it here first.
Don't they try to charge you for finding a car on the lot too?
No. Only thing they charge you is they make money on warranty and they make money on a little bit of the interest.
Yeah, I'm cutting that clip. That's definitely a highlight for the people, man.
Yeah, that's a bar, man. Give y'all free bar right there.
Definitely. So, not off topic, but if you could write a book, what would it be about?
So you want to be the most impactful. Like I think the most impactful thing for me, like I want to create generational wealth. I want to create millionaires. You know what I mean?
Generational wealth.
Yeah, I want to.
Come on, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
flashing.
It's flashing, but I could.
You might as well change it.
I was gonna say you could have finished it. Could you finish it in like a minute?
I could, but I don't know. I don't want.
What you gotta do?
You gotta utilize all marketing platforms, man. You gotta utilize all of them.
100%. Yeah, marketing is everything. So real quick, before we wrap it up, we're gonna get into this paraphernalia we got here. If y'all seen us in this episode, we've been rocking these reparations, not revenge shirts. You feel me? So peep it. You know what I mean? This is Donel stuff. Talk to us what reparations. Not revenge is for you, like what it means.
So I mean, from my personal opinion, it's like America should be lucky we're not looking for revenge.
100%, yeah.
So
that's a fact.
That's one of my things, man. Like I'm a big Garveyite, Malcolm X fan, Pan Africanist. Like I'm really that's what I'm really about. So everything around in my life like kind of revolves around that. So like one of the things that I really want to focus on is like getting reparations for Black people because everybody got reparations. Like Jewish people got reparations.
Asians,
Germany got every country we went to war with got reparations. Everybody got reparations except Black people, and that's something should be on the forefront of our minds. And like we should be really fighting for that.
Is reparations enough though? You know what I mean? Will that satisfy somebody?
Well, I think
it's a start.
It is, but I think there needs to be like a plan. Now, there's a lot of plans out there. Like Dr. Claude Anderson got a good plan out there, but I think, and I don't want to like brush over what I'm saying about him because the Harvest Institute, everything that he's doing, he's been doing it for years, and he got a lot of experience, and like he's at the forefront of that conversation. So if somebody's not really including his input or him in it, I don't think they're really serious about it. You know what I mean? But there's a psychological thing that has to happen too. You know what I mean? There's a financial literacy piece that has to happen. There's a mental health piece that has to happen. And I think it's in phases. Like, we have to address the mental health piece first, you know, with Africans in America. And, you know, once we address that, then it needs to be a financial literacy piece. And after the financial literacy piece, then we need to talk about, but I think that should all be included in the reparations package.
Right. Yeah, because we just talked about how kids grow up having all this trauma from their childhood.
Oh yeah.
A lot of PTSD from seeing the stuff in the hood.
Every black person, I think, if you grew up in the hood, you got PTSD.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, some form, yeah.
But you may not know it.
But there was college studies done on that.
Mm-hmm.
Like a soldier coming back from Afghanistan or the war had similar symptoms to a kid growing up in the hood.
Wow.
Yeah, that PTSD, man, is serious. Like, you get insomnia, you know what I mean? They have all types of, like, disorders and eating, like, everything, it changes you, man. It changes you. And some of us, like if I see a cop right now, even though I ain't do nothing, I'm still like,
man, what do I got on me? Like,
like, did I do something? Like, I don't know.
Right.
You checking your speed,
sure.
you
If
know,
I hear
your
like a
mouth
gunshot,
you know all that.
Dude, like, if you grew up in the suburbs, you hear a gunshot, you like, damn. Like, I'm like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
sure.
I'm looking around, ready to run. You know what I mean? It's your whole physiology.
Start sitting up straight and all that.
Yeah.
Make sure you got your seatbelt on.
Right.
Yeah,
You're checking,
everything's
like, and it's all mental. You don't even know you're doing it half the time.
Exactly. I walk
You know
in the
what I
room,
mean?
I gotta have my back. I can't have my back to the door. You know what I mean? I gotta sit in the restaurant.
That's crazy. Me too.
You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
always
I gotta
gotta
be able to
where
see what's going
I
on.
think
Where's the
that's
exits?
everybody.
You know what
Almost
I mean?
everybody.
I'm looking at everybody. I'm like, you know what I mean?
I'm like one way ins and one way. I don't
Exactly.
like those. Like,
Exactly.
there's only one door. I ain't
Exactly.
I ain't gonna
I mean,
be
real
But
there.
nerdy.
everything's different. Everything's different, man. You can't, like, even the way you interact with people is different.
Yeah, for sure.
You know
That's
what I mean?
100%, man.
So it's just like, you know, that can't be looked over. So with the reparations package, I believe that mental health piece got to be number one. If there ain't no mental health in it, it ain't serious. You know what I mean?
Right.
We got to address that mental health piece with us. Because let's say I got $1 million and, you know, mentally I'm not, you know, right.
To deal with
I'm
it.
gonna feel whole or void in my life with that money. You know what I mean? And it's
That's usually
gonna
with
go right back in the
accessories,
hands of the
sneakers,
person
and
that gave
all
it to
that
you.
All types of
stuff that
stuff.
can't make you any more money.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So yeah, what's the point of having $1 million if you don't know what to do with it, or how to invest it, you know, or how to make your money make you money? So
You got $1
which is
million
all the same
with a
thing.
$100 mindset.
You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying? So
We gotta change that.
People want $1 million, but
And y'all changed it
can't
now, too,
handle
by the way.
Oh,
Appreciate it.
appreciate you, my
For
brother.
sure.
Yo, thank you. We trying to,
trying.
man, one episode at a time, and then, you know, with your knowledge and the gems that you dropped today, you know what I mean? I hope they receive it and like, yo, he didn't have to do this, you know?
We ain't pay him. We ain't slip him no 20 under the joint. Like, say that.
Yeah, like, yo, here, this is
Nah.
all for the love
Nah,
came
just for the
through,
people.
you know what I mean? And just trying to give us good content on culture content. So, yo, where can we find you? How can they get a rental when they need one when they're in Pittsburgh and all that other good stuff? And if you have any other endeavors that you're doing that you want to shout out, please let the people know so you know they can get right.
Well, a little bit about the shirts before I finish. You know what I mean? I'm selling.
Oh, yeah.
You can buy those shirts. You can get them on www.l3cs.com. I sell my shirts there. You can get them on Dark Matters. I do articles about like real things happening in the community. So you can go to www.darkmatters.com. You know, portion of the proceeds goes to the Harvest Institute to go ahead and help out us actually fighting for reparations.
Giving back.
So that's a big thing. If you want to rent a car, Level 3 Community Solutions, that's the name of the business. www.l3cs.com. www.l3cs.com. You can find us on Facebook. If you go to Facebook, you just type in Level 3 Community Solutions. You know, our information will pop up. But I want you to go to the website. You know what I mean? I want you to see everything on the website.
And it's clean, man.
Yeah.
The website is dope.
Yeah, it's nice website,
man.
You know what I mean? Real subtle. You know,
I appreciate
elegance.
it. I like simplicity. You know what I mean?
Simplicity is key, for
Yeah,
sure.
don't overthink stuff sometimes.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It makes it worse.
I used to do logos, man. I used to do logos for people. I still do them every once in a while, but I had one client, and they like, oh, I want this, and it was super busy. And I'm like, that's too much. You know what I mean? You want to just keep it simple, keep it basic, and eventually I just end up refunding the customer's money. Like, look, I can't have my brand out there because it was just too crazy. And they was like, oh, I want it. I'm like, and I did it, and I showed it to them, and they're like, yeah, but I want a little bit more. And I'm like, look, here's a refund. Take your money back. And we just gonna move on, let bygones be bygones. I appreciate you. I still love you. You know what I mean? We still cool, but I can't have my brand out there looking all crazy.
Yeah. I'm glad we were able to come to a mutual stand.
Yeah, because people. I mean, what happens is if you put some trash out there, and then people will be like, "Oh man, look at your logo." Exactly. They're gonna be like, "Oh, my man did it." They're gonna be like,
don't go to him.
Don't holler at him. That was trash." So you just gotta be careful because like that's the good thing about running a business. You can tell people no. Like you know what I mean? I can be like, "Nah," because like I'm not. A lot of renters I'll tell like straight up after you don't complete the pre-screening and you don't make it through, like I'm sorry, I can't rent to you. Much love, you know what I mean?
Not all money is good money. How many times we say that? You know,
say that a lot.
Just because they giving you $1 million don't mean it's worth it. So
exactly.
Stand by your core, man. Stand by what you represent. Continue to sell yourself. If you need more information, holla at my man Donel for the car rental business. And many other things, you know what I mean? Like
he's wealth of knowledge.
Exactly.
He know a lot.
Around.
You know what I'm saying?
Try.
It's crazy when you find out somebody you interview and work with the same company you work for. It's crazy.
Well, man, Pittsburgh, it all connected. You know what I mean?
Connected some way, somehow.
We met somewhere at a mutual event, and then who would have known that he would have been my friend? To work with you, like.
Hey man, big ups to everybody out there working with juveniles, man.
For sure,
doing that. Big
it's a hard, SIS program and the juvenile probation is definitely a hard job as it is. But at the end of the day, we want to make sure these kids get right. Yeah,
y'all put your lives on the line every day though too, man. Sure. Like people don't understand that. Like
you gotta wear a vest.
You riding into war zones sometimes. Yeah, kids that's like literally. In the middle of a war type situation, like we had kids actually sometimes come to the van. You know what I mean? Because they
we did.
Kid it was in there that was like in some crazy beat.
Yo, you picking up X, Y, and Z today?
Exactly.
I already know.
And like y'all literally for whatever y'all making now, y'all putting your lives on the line to really impact these kids. It ain't about the money, and that's what kids don't understand sometimes. Like, dude, this paycheck. I'm risking my life. You know what I mean? So sometimes, this paycheck don't really mean all of that. Like,
I'm trying to help you. Like, so listen. We doing all this to help you. So you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. But they understand it when they get out of the program and you talk to them. And they in the program, a lot of it falls on deaf ears.
Yeah, so. You could only do so much, but then hope they circle back. You know what I'm saying? And do what's right, man. But like we said, we only here trying to give y'all the knowledge, the gems. And let y'all know that it's more than just these streets. You know what I mean? There's other avenues. Car rental business. Yeah. So yeah, man. If you can figure out how to make money illegally, you can figure out how to make money legally.
Let me say this piece too, man, because a lot of people don't know this, and I educate them when I go through the process. I was talking to my youngins about, like y'all said, life insurance, and I talked to them about like investments and stuff like that. So. Education, when I say educate yourself on a business before you get into it, once you start your LLC, number one, start your LLC. It don't cost that much. You can really do it yourself, but it only costs like $300 to start an LLC. Yeah, but do it even if you don't got a plan. Just be like, hey man, I like this name. I'm gonna start this LLC because the longer you're in business, the more chances you have to get like funded. Right. So go ahead and start it, even if you don't got a plan or anything. Just start the business. Because I did that before I even had a plan. I just started it in 2014. I was like right when I left the SIS. I started the same year I left the SIS. But the next step after you start your business is, create a plan, make sure it don't got to be something that you like. It just got to be something that make money. You know what I mean?
For sure.
It got to be something because your hobby could be something you like, but your business should be something that make money. You know what I mean? So figure out something that make money. It's so many, like life is so easy. We make it complicated. It's really easy. You know what I mean?
Like the artwork you was just talking about. Don't complicate it.
Don't overcomplicate it. Keep it simple, man. Just keep it real simple. And everything like that you got an idea for is probably something already is out there that can give you kind of so you can take a lot of this stuff, like the skeleton of a business. You can take it from an existing business and add it to your business and put a different twist on it.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't try to reinvent the wheel.
If you don't have to.
Try to improve it. You know what I mean? Take what you need and improve it.
The gem that I want to give them is like education. Like when I do a consultation for a company, like somebody, like one of my man in Ohio or my man in Florida, building their businesses, I'll be like, all right, here's a consultation. I'm gonna tell you exactly how to build your business. I'm gonna tell you how to buy the cars. I'll even go help you buy the cars and everything. Like I'll do all that stuff to get your business, get your website, all of that. Like, you know what I mean? Just almost as a carbon copy as mine. Or if you want to bring it into mine, I'll just do it. But if you want to just like start on your own and just have me like just consult you, this is how much it's gonna cost. So a lot of people are like, oh man, it costs XYZ. But what people don't know is educational expenses. You could write off of $10,000 on your taxes.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Educate, you get all of that money back in your taxes at the end of the year. A lot of people don't understand that. So I mean, get with your accountant first. You know what I mean? To determine like how much, because tax laws change every year. So one year it might be X amount, next year it might be this amount. But you could write off. My point is, you could write off educational expenses. Okay. So you know what I mean? Don't be intimidated by those numbers or seminars or books or whatever. Just keep a receipt. And at the end of the year, once you get your LLC first, like I said, you can write all of that stuff off.
My man Donel, L3CS.com, yo.
Yes, sir.
Go check it out, man. And that's a wrap, yo. Another one in the bag, man. Yo, like, come on, man. Straight heat for y'all, baby. Let's get it, man. Culture content.
We appreciate everybody checking us out.
Donel.
Check us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Check out the YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. We appreciate y'all. For sure.
Love is love, y'all.